A very good evening to one and all present here. It is with deep honor and immense pleasure that we extend a warm welcome to the distinguished guest, esteemed faculty members, and valued participants joining us today. We are gathered here for a momentous occasion, the observance of Wildlife Week celebrations. This initiative is not only illuminate the precocious state of our natural world, but also invigorates our collective resolve to act as stewards of environmental restoration.
Today's event is meticulously organized by the Kerala Academy Law College in association with the Forestry Club and IQEC KLA. We stand united in purpose with a firm commitment to raise awareness, stimulate informed dialogue, and advocate for environmentally responsible action. The Kerala Academy Law College, established in the year 1966 under the visionary leadership of the late Dr. N. Nair Sir, is a venerated institution that has long served as a crucible for legal scholarship, societal reform, and civic consciousness. Over the decades, the Academy has cultivated an education environment where academic rigor intersects with the real world relevance. It transcends the boundaries of conventional pedagogy by nurturing legal professionals equipped with analytical equity, ethical clarity, and an enduring commitment to justice. Renowned both nationally and internationally for its contributions to legal consultancy, research, and progressive policy development, the Academy continually empowers students to engage in discourse and advocacy on platforms that matter, be they in courtrooms, academic forums, or global environmental dialogues, such as the one we host today.
As we come together to celebrate Wildlife Week, let us take a moment to appreciate the incredible diversity of life that shares this planet with us. From the tiniest insect to the mightiest elephant, every creature plays a unique and vital role in maintaining nature's beautiful balance. But sadly, human greed and carelessness through deforestation, pollution, and hunting are slowly destroying their homes. Wildlife Week reminds us of our duty to protect, preserve, and coexist with the nature. So let's pledge today to the voice of voiceless, to care of our forest, and to ensure that the songs of the wild never fade away from our earth. As the distinguished rheumatologist Dr. Jane Goodwell so profoundly stated, what you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make.
At this moment, it is our privilege to invite an academician whose insight and eloquence continually inspire her students and colleagues alike. Advocate Chinu S. Ma'am, Assistant Professor at Kerala Academy Law College, to formally deliver the welcome address. Ma'am, we are honored to have you lead the proceedings with your words. The platform is yours. Ma'am, please.
Good evening to one and all. Respected Advocate Nagaraj Narayanan Sir, Director, Kerala Academy Law College. Professor Anil Kumar Key Sir, Director of Administration, Students and Faculty Affairs. Professor Harindran Key Sir, Principal, Kerala Law Academy Law College. Professor Anil Kumar G Sir, Vice Principal, Kerala Law Academy. Professor Dr. Ajita Nair L. Ma'am, Head of the Department, KLA. Ms. Dr. Dakshina Saraswati Ma'am, General Secretary of the KLA Moot Court Society and Associate Professor at Kerala Law Academy Law College. Mrs. Kasturi Nagaraj Ma'am, Assistant Professor, Kerala Law Academy. Mr. N.K. Shashidharan Sir, Assistant Professor, Kerala Law Academy. Faculty conveners, student conveners, dear students, and our special guest of honor for the day, Dr. Aruna Devi Ma'am. It is with deep honor I extend a heartfelt and warm welcome to each one of you to this special session organized as part of the Wildlife Week 2025 celebrations of the Kerala Law Academy Law College, Tirunelveli, in collaboration with our Forestry Club and IQEC. This evening, we are gathered for a very important lecture, Endangered Species, Threats, Challenges, and Conservation Strategies. The subject is not only timely, but also profoundly significant for shaping the future of conservation in our state and the nation at large. It reminds us of our shared responsibility to protect the delicate balance of nature and ensure the survival of species that are vital to our planet's ecological harmony. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce our distinguished guest for this evening. Dr. Aruna Devi C. Ma'am, an accomplished academician and researcher whose contributions to the field of zoology have been truly exemplary. We take special pride in mentoring that she is an esteemed alumna of Kerala Law Academy, reflecting her remarkable versatility, and pursuit of excellence beyond her realm of science. Ma'am completed her undergraduate studies at All Saints College, securing third rank from the University of Kerala, and went on pursue her postgraduate degree at the University College, attaining second rank from the same university. She later earned her PhD in zoology from the University of Kerala, establishing a strong foundation for her remarkable academic journey. With over 20 years of dedicated service under the Directorate of Collegiate Education, she has enriched several esteemed institutions, including Government College for Women, Vazhdakkad, Government College Chavara, Government College Karivata. She is currently serving as professor and head of the Department of Zoology at University College, inspiring both students and colleagues through her leadership and expertise. Ma'am is a member of UG and PG Board of Studies in Zoology at the University of Kerala with 10 years of research experience in vertebrate endocrinology and aquatic technology. She has mentored 7 MPhil scholars and supervised 5 PhD candidates, currently guiding 2 more. Ma'am's scholarly contributions include 18 research publications, a book chapter, and 17 presentations at prominent institutions. After completing an internship at Pennsylvania State University, she received 3 awards for her research, including 2 Best Paper Awards at Kerala Science Congress and Young Scientist Award at the Kerala Women Science Congress. In 2025, she also completed her LLB from Kerala Law Academy, ranking 9th. We are indeed honored to have with us such multifaceted scholar, researcher, and educator whose commitment to science and learning continues to inspire many. On behalf of Kerala Law Academy Law College and everyone gathered here, I extend heartfelt welcome to you, ma'am. It is my distinct pleasure to extend a warm welcome to Advocate Nagaraj Narayanan sir, Director, Kerala Law Academy Law College, and an esteemed member of Bar Council of Kerala. Sir, your unwavering support and visionary leadership are integral to our mission, guiding us as we are strive for excellence in our academic and social endeavors. I would like to acknowledge Professor Anil Kumar K. sir, our Director of Administration, Students and Faculty Affairs. Your commitment to fostering a nurturing environment for both students and faculty is essential in sustaining the spirit of academic excellence within our institution. A heartfelt welcome is also extended to Professor Harindran K. sir, our esteemed principal. Your dedication and insightful leadership serve a source of inspiration, encouragement to us to evolve our academic initiatives. We are also privileged to welcome Professor Anil Kumar G. sir, Vice Principal of Kerala Law Academy. Your mentorship and commitment profoundly shape the development of our students' community, and we are grateful for your impactful contributions. It is indeed a great honor to have Professor Dr. Ajitha Nair Elma, Head of the Department at KLA, with us today. Your academic contributions lay the essential foundation for our college, and we are truly appreciate your efforts. We are delighted to welcome Dr. Dakshina Saraswati Ma'am, General Secretary of the Kerala Moot Court Society and Associate Professor at Kerala Law Academy Law College. Ma'am's constant support, valuable guidance, and encouragement have always been a source of inspiration. A warm welcome to Advocate Kasturi Ma'am, Assistant Professor, Kerala Law Academy Law College, whose clarity of vision, thoughtful coordination, and relentless enthusiasm have ensured that every detail of this program reflects the spirit of the occasion. Ma'am, your presence and dedication truly inspire the entire student community. I would like to extend a warm greeting to Mr. N.K. Shashidharan sir, Assistant Professor, Kerala Law Academy Law College. Your support and guidance are invaluable to the success of our events, and we are thankful for your commitment. Once again, I welcome you all to this meaningful session of Wildlife Week 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your gracious and thoughtful words. Your address and entry provided an ideal prelude to the conversation we are set to engage in today. I take this opportunity to welcome you too, ma'am, to this event. It is a great honor to welcome our esteemed chief guest, Professor Dr. Arina Devi C. Ma'am, an eminent zoologist, devoted teacher, and an inspiring academic leader. Ma'am is the head of Department of Zoology at the University College Thiruvananthapuram. Ma'am, we are deeply honored by your presence today. We now invite you to address the gathering. Ma'am, please.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. And first of all, I'd like to thank the organizing team, Nagaraj sir, the director, and Professor Anil Kumar sir, the director of administration, our principal Harindran sir, vice principal Anil Kumar sir, Sashidharan sir, Ajita teacher, and rest of the and other faculty members for giving me this opportunity for the presentation during this Wildlife Week. And I'm also extremely happy to be back to my own alma mater. So with this, I'll start my presentation. Okay. So when Sashidharan sir invited me for this talk, I was going through many topics in my head. So finally, I thought I should give you an insight into some of the endangered species that we face today and their threats, challenges, and the conservation strategies. So the topic is endangered species. Now, first of all, India, our own country, it's one of the 17 mega diverse countries because we have our own snow-covered Himalayas to dense rainforests of Western Ghats, the deserts of Rajasthan to the Sundarbans, that is very beautiful green mangroves. So India is among the 17 mega diverse countries of the world, and it has about 7 to 8% of recorded species, even though our landmass is just 2.4%. Now, why do we need such biodiversity, such vast variety of organisms? Because of the genetic diversity, and they help in protecting the freshwater resources. They help in the recovery of natural disorders or disasters, and they also help in the balance of ecosystem, sustainability, growth, etc. Now, directly coming to the topic about the endangered species, first you should know about IUCN. Now, IUCN is the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Earlier, it concentrated on human activities that affected the environment. Later on, it changed its focus to the protection of species and their habitats, etc. Now, in 1964, they established the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species. Now, this Red List, it is updated twice every year. Now it has included 37,480 species which are threatened at present. Now, this red list category, it consists of 9 levels of species. We'll see one by one. That is, number one is extinct. That is, they are no longer seen on our earth. They are totally extinct. The second one is extinct in the wild. That is, they are not present in the wild, but they are seen in captivity. Now, third one is critically endangered. Critically endangered, you should remember the word extremely high risk. That is, they are at the extremely high risk of extinction, while the fourth one, endangered, they are at very high risk. The other one is extremely high risk, and this one is very high risk. We'll see the examples later on. Now, vulnerable means they are facing high risk of extinction. If you do not provide such protection, they will immediately go on to the endangered level. So that is vulnerable. And near threatened means they are close to they are like it is like a competition. So they are close to qualifying or likely to qualify for a threatened category in the near future. Now, least concern means they are stable population. They do not face any kind of extinction right now. Now, data deficient means that is we don't have that much idea on the abundance or distribution. So these are the 9 categories under the red list. Okay. Now, how they are categorized? They are categorized into critically endangered, endangered, and vulnerable based on certain criteria. And these criteria are the population reduction, restricted geographical range, small population size. If you take giant panda or the red panda, they have the small population size, and very small or restricted population, or the based on extinction probability analysis. This we will be seeing later. So there are certain criteria followed by IUCN to categorize such organism into critically endangered, endangered, and vulnerable. Now, what are the causes of endangerments? That is, there are 5 main drivers behind that. The number one, the primary one is habit destruction. Okay, because we have this agriculture, mining, urbanization, which will lead to habit destruction. Now, pollution, any kind of pollution like water pollution, soil pollution, they will lead to habitat degradation. We'll be seeing this later. Climate change, we all know about the climate change, what is happening, like greenhouse gas effect, the global warming, etc. These are all one of the factors that lead to endangerment. Invasive species. Invasive species means these are non-native species that come to our own environment and they pose a threat to our own native species. Now, wildlife trade. Wildlife trade means overexploitation, hunting, poaching, overfishing. These all leads to population decline in population numbers. So these are the 5 drivers, and we'll see one by one, which will lead to this increased endangered species, especially in the case of birds and amphibians. Now, number 1 is habitat loss, degradation, and fragmentation. As I said earlier, habitat loss is one of the primary causes. And what is this habitat? The place where the organism is seen or they live. And this habitat loss, it is due to mining process, urbanization, agriculture, mostly due to humans' greed. And there's a term called extirpation. Extirpation means that is the species will become locally extinct in the place where it resides, though it is seen somewhere else, but in the habitat, in its own habitat, it's no more seen, and that is called extirpation. Now, habitat degradation, that is degradation in the sense any light pollution, noise pollution, soil, water, air pollution, they make that habitat undesirable for those organisms to live anymore. So they have to leave that place. Third one is habitat fragmentation. This is what is happening in our elephant population, because elephant, they need a large area to survive. And here in fragmentation, a continuous area is fragmented. This we'll see here. That is in habitat fragmentation. This has been earlier one large area. Now by the laying down of roads, hydroelectric or the electricity lines, etc., the large area is being divided into small pouches. Okay, so this is called habitat fragmentation, and this will also lead to population decline. And here in these pictures, you can see what deforestation going on, so that those organisms, they don't have their homes to survive. Their home is lost. Now, this is what is happening in the Amazon forest. I'm sure you have heard of Amazon forest. It is actually called the lungs of the earth, because it provides 20% of oxygen that the human or any other organism breathe in. Okay, so this is called the lungs of the earth. At present, it is under total degradation, and for what all purposes, there are natural calamities, that's for sure. But yeah, there is mining activities going on, logging activities, that is felling down of trees going on. There are plantations, lots of plantations like oil palm, soya, etc. And it is also some of the like major hectares of Amazon forest, they are fell down for pasture, that is for producing beef. Okay, so forest loss in Brazilian Amazon is a reality. Now, second one is invasive species. Invasive species means any non-native species that come to our ecosystem. For example, I have shown here the carp. Carpine നമ്മൾ വിളിക്കുന്നത് mushi എന്നാണ് വിളിക്കുന്നത്. It is seen in our freshwater, estuary, etc. നമ്മുടെ വെള്ളായണി കായൽ എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇഷ്ടം പോലെ ഇത് കാണാം. So they do not have any more competitors. അവർ പുതിയതായിട്ട് വന്നതുകൊണ്ട് അവർക്ക് നമ്മുടെ ഫ്രഷ് വാട്ടർ സിസ്റ്റത്തിൽ കോമ്പറ്റീറ്റേഴ്സേ ഇല്ല. So they thrive well in that ecosystem and they are voracious feeders. അപ്പൊ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മുടെ തന്നെ നേറ്റീവ് സ്പീഷീസിനെ അറ്റാക്ക് ചെയ്യും. Our own native species, they decline in number. Okay, and we have other. If you take our freshwater system, there are Eichhornia. That is എന്താണ് കൊളവായ എന്ന് നമ്മൾ പറയുന്നത്. അതും ഒരു ഇൻവേസീവ് സ്പീഷീസ് ആണ്. There are African snails. അതും ഒരു ഇൻവേസീവ് സ്പീഷീസ് ആണ്. And that is attacking our own native species. Now, loss of genetic variation, I can go into this in a more scientific manner, but with this picture, I'll explain. Now, this is happening. This is actually happening in cheetah population. Now, you take a cheetah population, okay? Now, here it's a female cheetah. There are lots of male cheetah. It will mate with multiple males, so that the cub, the young ones, we can see the varieties of like genetic lots of genetic variations in the young ones, so they are not vulnerable to diseases. When a female cheetah mates with multiple males, the young ones are not vulnerable to diseases. Okay, that is happening in a huge population. Now, coming to when there's a population decline. When there's a population decline, the female cheetah will be mating with single male. Okay, so there will be no more variability among the cub. All the cub will be looking the same. They show the same vulnerability to the disease. Okay, so the population will decline. This is a type of mini extinction, and that is actually happening in our cheetah population. Now, coming to any other organism, you take this population, a fish population, you can see a large population with genetic diversity, so that their adaptation is high and their potential for long-term survival is high, and they show high resilience to disease, etc. Now, what happens when there is habitat degradation, habitat fragmentation, or when there is decline in population? Their population will be divided into small pouches, and then their diversity will be low, and they show low resistance towards diseases and other changes. So this is called low genetic variation. Now, this will start an extinction vortex. That is, if there is a vicious cycle going on, what will happen? There is a small population. When there is a small population, they will breed with each other. This is called inbreeding. Okay, and this will lead to loss of genetic diversity, and again the reproductive rate will be low. Again, the population will become lower, inbreeding will set in, the genetic diversity will decrease. So this is an ongoing extinction vortex. So anytime the genetic variation becomes lower, it will result in extinction vortex. So this is one of the reasons for endangerment. Now, the fourth reason is high specialization. What is the specialization? That is, there are organisms that will eat, they are found in a particular area. They have a specific habitat. They are not found anywhere else. Okay, that is a specialization. There is another specialization, like they'll eat only a particular type of food. For example, our own koala bear. And this koala, this is a native to Australia. They eat only eucalyptus tree. Now, what will happen if there is deforestation? If all the eucalyptus trees are fell down, now this koala bear, they will not encroach into any other home range. They have their own territory. They have their own home range. They cannot share the home ranges. So what will happen? Ultimately, when their food resources cull down, what will happen? The koala bear will also, their population will also decline. So this is one of the reasons for endangerment. Now, next reason is disease. There are lots of disease in the animal world. There's an example called canine distemper. If you are a pet parent, you will know about this canine distemper. But we have for the domesticated animals, we have our own, we have the vaccines. Okay, but that is not the case in the wildlife. Wildlife, when this canine distemper attacks, it will cause breathing difficulty, diarrhea, dehydration, ultimately leading to to death. Now, it is most prominent in lion, tiger, red pandas, the black bear, etc. And this will result in massive death of the organisms. Moreover, it is an infectious disease. So, disease is also one of the reasons for endangerment. Now, coming to the next reason is reproductive rate. Okay, so I'll give you an example. You take the domesticated cat. The domesticated cat, they have the high reproductive rate because the female will achieve maturity within 4 to 6 months. Now, you take the case of dolphin. Dolphin will become mature in 13 years. The female will take 13 years to reach maturity. Okay, now, in the case of cat, the gestation period, the time it carries the young one, is just 2 months, 2 to 3 months. Okay. But in the case of dolphin, it is 12 months. Okay. Now, the cat will produce a litter of 4 to 6 kittens, but dolphin will only produce mostly one, in extreme cases, 2. Okay. So only one pup or only one calf at a time. And it will nurture that calf for about 2 years. So that during that time, there are no more pregnancy or no more pup. Okay. So in the case of domesticated cat, now you will know its reproductive rate is very high. At the same time, in the case of dolphin, the reproductive rate is very low. So what happens if this dolphin becomes endangered? There is no more further generation. Right? So reproductive rate is also one of the factors that lead to endangerment. Okay. The another important factor is overhunting and overfishing. Okay, overhunting, it will reduce the number of breeding animals. Earlier I said it will reduce the genetic variation also. Now I'll give you an example, that is passenger pigeon. Passenger pigeon, this is passenger pigeon. Earlier in 18th, 19th century, there were billions of passenger pigeon. But what happened was it was used for gaming, just for hunting, just for recreation. That is just for purely for humans' greed, like a sports. Okay. So the passenger pigeon, earlier there were like millions. Now the last one, which was named Martha, it got extinct in 1914. Okay. Now that is passenger pigeon. I think you should know about dodo. Dodo, it was found in Madagascar island. So the sailors used to hunt the dodo, and what happened was just for their flesh. And what happened was in 1650s, in those time, the dodo became completely extinct. Okay, so dodo bird went extinct less than 100 years after it was discovered by humans. It took about just 100 years for its extinction. There is one more animal that is called Tasmanian wolf, or it is called thylacine, and this is also very common in Australian region. And this was also hunted, and within a span of a few years, this also got extincted. So this is the problem with over exploitation. Now we have this status symbol like ivory products from the elephant. Okay, the head and the hides of the tiger, lion, etc. And here you can see the rhino with its horn, that is with its horn gone. That is, we use this horn for a medicinal purpose, and that is actually a misunderstanding. But we use this horn for as a status symbol for the showpiece item. Okay, so and all these things, all these over exploitation has also caused population decline. And in these pictures, you can also see overfishing. So overfishing has also reduced our marine resources also. Okay, so these are the reasons for endangerment, and later it will lead to definite extinction. So what are the reasons? Means habitat loss, invasive species, pollution leading to habitat degradation, climate change, over-harvesting, disease, everything. It has led to lower effective population size. And this will lead to what? Inbreeding, reduce adaptability. So this will lead to, again, less genetic variation. And finally, what are the reasons, which are the reasons which led to endangerment will finally lead to extinction. So the reasons are one and the same. Now, I'll give you a few examples regarding endangered species. like the number one is green turtle. Green turtle is one of the largest sea turtle, and this is very important for ecosystem because it regulates our sea bed, the sea grass. In turn, more and more fish and other species will live in that ecosystem. So green turtle is important for our ecosystem health. Okay, but what are we doing to the green turtle? We overharvest the egg. We hunt the adult. There is again another misunderstanding that is green turtle fat is good for our health. It is actually not so. Okay, and it is also part of the bycatch. Bycatch means it is being caught in the fishing gear, and there is also loss of nesting beach site. It comes to a beach for its breeding during the breeding season, and people actually they know the breeding season when the breeding season is happening, and they wait and they catch the green turtle. So that is a reason for the endangerment of green turtle. Now, Indus River dolphin. This is the only dolphin we Indians have. Indus River dolphin is found in Pakistan and River Bias, that is in Punjab. So it is given the status of state aquatic animal of Punjab, and this river is the only habitat. And the well-being of river, it is actually shown by the river dolphins. It is an important indicator of the health of the river. But what happened? Numerous dam constructions, barrage constructions, and it is also hunted for its flesh, etc. And it is also accidentally caught in fishing net, as all resulted in decline of Indus River dolphin. Like I said earlier, this is the only dolphin available in our coast. The red panda, we know about the red panda. It has got a specialized diet because it eats only bamboo. Okay, so the loss of the deforestation, which lead to loss of bamboo, its nesting trees. Okay, it will also lead to the decline of this animal, and moreover, it is usually caught in traps set for other animals, and it is also you can see its color, particular color, the red color. It is also poached for their distinctive pelt in China and Myanmar. And this is also used as the felt is actually used as a fur cap or hats in Bhutan. Okay, so these are all like I said, these are all used as showpieces, status symbols. And I have shown here the decline in panda population. Now, whaling means hunting of whales. It is still happening, and whales are the top of the food chain. These are the top predators of the food chain. So when an individual in the food chain is gone, the food chain is disrupted. The food web itself is disrupted, and what will happen? The other organism will increase in number, will affect the other organism also. So that's the importance of whale. Another importance is that it is a carbon sequester. That is, it can sequester 33 tons of carbon dioxide on an average. Okay, so thereby it can fight actually our global warming. But what happened? 6 out of 13 great whale species are at present endangered. And like every year, some 3 lakh of whales and dolphins are killed. Okay, as part of the fisheries bycatch for their flesh, etc., and also by oil spills polluting their environment, we are causing their habitat loss. And this is happening more in Japan. Here I've shown here in Japan, Norway, Russia, etc. That is whales. Killing of whales has been banned in 1985, but it is still happening, and you can see the decline. Now, giant panda. Giant panda is actually called umbrella species. If there is a giant panda in a place, it will lead to an ecosystem health in such a way it will protect other organisms also, like peasants, the monkeys, the ibis, etc. So it's called an umbrella species. It's very important for our environment. But the problem was there is ecotourism, there is infrastructure development, so there is habitat fragmentation, and this has led to giant panda being included in the endangered list also. Okay. Now coming to the lion. Lion is a top predator. Just think what will happen if there are no more lions. Okay, if there are no more lions, what will happen? The prey population, what the lion eat, the herbivores, they will start to try this zebras, wild beasts, the lots of other herbivores. They will start to try. Then what will happen? They will attack all the grass areas, all the small plants, etc, and that will decline. In turn, this will affect the herbivores. So it's an ongoing cycle. We can easily think, what is the use of lion here? Let it go. We can't think like that. If the lion is gone, the herbivores will try. This will affect the grasses, and later on, the entire grass population will decline. This will in turn affect the herbivores, and this is what is happening when there are no more lions. Okay. Now I'll show you this picture. What is happening in a lion's life, a cruel life. That is, if you go to Africa, there are like 300 to 400 breeding centers for lion. They capture the lion and they undergo intensive breeding. And these lions, they produce 2 liters per year. In these liters, they will produce like 2 to 4 cups in a liter. Okay, so they will take away the cup before weaning off from the adult lion or the female lion. They will just take off this cup, and these cups they will be sent to various zoos, various areas where you can see if you go to Thailand, Singapore, Bhutan, etc. There are areas where you can walk with such cups. These cups are so cute. I shouldn't say that, but they look so cute. So what is the normal human tendency? You will start to pamper them, and you can take for a price. You can take them for a walk. You can take photograph with them. Taking a photograph, then posting it in a social media. That's a kind of life at present I'm seeing. So for this, we are subjecting those cups. Okay, and for these cups, just for 2 years, they can use this cup. After 2 years, they become adult. Then there's no more cuteness. Then what will happen to these lions? You can see here. That is, they will be forced to reproduce their own litters. They'll be taken back to these intensive breeding centers, and they will be forced to reproduce their own litters. And sometimes they're killed as trophies in canned hunts. What are these canned hunts? That you can pay money. There will be an area like a turf, and these cubs or the adult will be let out, and you can have your fun. You can easily kill these targets, and you can take away their. It's sad to say, but you can cut off their head, and you'll be given a trophy. Okay, or third option, it can be slaughtered for their bones to be used in traditional medicine, or it will be sold to other breeders or zoo. So this is the cruel life that is happening in African countries. There is intensive breeding. The cubs are taken away from them, and they are utilized for the tourism, for taking photos, or for petting, for walking, etc. And later on, within 2 years. Okay, within 2 years, they will be sold to zoos, or slaughtered for their bones, or they're killed as trophies in canned hunts. Okay, this is happening. And this vicious cycle is going on. If you breed a lion, and if you use that lion, if you kill the lion, for each lion, it is like 9 lakhs rupees you'll be getting. Okay, and you can sell it to the zoo or for the petting purpose, etc. And such breeding farms these are all illegal farms, but they are still present in various parts of the other countries like Africa, etc. Now, orangutan. Actually, our own, you can say our own cousin. Now, orangutan is the gardeners of the forest, because they are important in seed dispersal in their habitat. The problem is they have their low reproductive rate. That is, the female, they give birth to 1 infant at a time for about 3 to 5 years. So they are easy targets for hunters. They are killed for food. And there is retaliation killing. Retaliation killing means when there is a man-animal conflict, the man will kill the animal that is called retaliation killing. And these orangutan pups, they are used as pet also. In Arabian countries, these are also used as pet. And the orangutan skull is taken as a status symbol in Indonesia, etc. Now, Bornean orangutan, it is actually the gardener of the forest. It is threatened by the habitat loss, and the forests are actually burned to construct palm oil plantation. So palm oil, if you take the palm oil actually comes from a vast plantation in major forest areas. And it is also illegally hunt for the bushmeat. Bushmeat എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ വെടിയിറച്ചി നമ്മൾ പറയാം. Okay, so അതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടും ഇതിനെ കൊല്ലാറുണ്ട്. And moreover, even for the like the indigenous people, bushmeat, it's their part of their life. But the bushmeat is actually served for a high-end clientele. അതായത് സൊസൈറ്റിയിൽ വലിയ ലെവലിൽ നിൽക്കുന്ന ഒരു സിസ്റ്റം, ഒരു സെറ്റ് ഓഫ് ആൾക്കാരുണ്ട്. ഫോർ ദെം ഓൾസോ ഇതിനെ ഇല്ലീഗലി ഈ ബുഷ്മീറ്റിനെ വിൽക്കാറുണ്ട്. അതൊരു ഡെലിക്കസി ആയിട്ട് അവർ കഴിക്കാറുണ്ട്. Now coming to chimpanzees ഉള്ള 4 countries ഇതിപ്പോ extinct ആയി. Poaching ആണ് main reason. Then like I said earlier, bushmeat, അല്ലേ? That is to serve the appetite of wealthy urban residents. Bushmeat കഴിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ that we get something that is, ഞാൻ ഇത് കഴിച്ചു എന്ന് പറയാനും ഇത് കഴിച്ചു എന്ന് പറയാൻ അതിനൊരു ആത്മതൃപ്തി കിട്ടാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടും people eat bushmeat. And I don't know why, but it's silly actually. But അതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ് ചിമ്പാൻസീസിനെ മോസ്റ്റ്ലി അതിന്റെ എൻഡേഞ്ചർമെന്റ് വരുന്നത്. Okay, and infant chimpanzees, they are also taken as pet. Now, rhino, this is happening in India, in Africa, Asia, especially in India. Rhino, the horn is actually used. Okay, it is just cut off, just for the horn. The entire animal is killed just for that horn. Okay. Again, I said, I'm repeating myself, it is for the social status and prestige. And China and Vietnam, they are the 2 largest consumer market for this rhino horn. And Sumatran rhino, its habitat is lost due to construction, agriculture expansion, etc. Okay. Seeing this picture, today when I went through this PPT, I read a quote that is, no animal can be this much cruel than human beings. Okay, this is the picture. This was in 2019. It was a famous picture. This is the last northern one-horned rhino. That is a male rhino, not one-horned rhino, the white rhino. The last northern white rhino, the male rhino, and his caretaker Joseph for the 3 years. And this was the last one. Now it is extinct. You can no more see such mighty organism anymore. Okay. And now I've given the graph regarding the decline of African rhinos. Now, these birds, this bird is the blue and yellow macaw. This is from Amazonian rainforest. Actually, this is actually available in India. It is a part of our illegal pet trade, and people are actually buying this in this is available in expensive rates. Still, we are buying it, and we are actually treating them as pet. But this has led to their decline also. Now, in another scenario, like Dr. Sybil Klentsendorf said, that is from polar bears in the Arctic to penguins in the Antarctic, climate change is having a devastating impact on animals around the world. Let's see that. Like climate change is growing, concern for penguin. There are emperor penguin, Adelie penguin. There are African penguin. African penguin, if you take African penguin from over 1 million breeding pairs in the early 1900s to now less than just 10,400 pairs at present now. Okay. Now there is a study that if there is a 2 degrees Celsius increase in the temperature, the entire penguin community will perish. Polar bears. Right, you might have seen the pictures somewhere. The loss of sea ice habitat, the problem with the greenhouse gas effect, as well as the global warming, the increase in temperature has actually melted the sea ice, and so that the polar bears are suffering. Snow leopards, again, top predator. If the top predator is gone, the prey population will increase. That will result in other problems. So this is also an important indicator of ecological health. Now, what we have done to them: poaching, habitat loss, decline in natural prey species, retaliatory killing due to man-animal conflict, climate crisis, rising global temperature, and you can see the people using these hides, etc. So they are also endangered. Now, if there is one species which is the most rarest one, if there is one species which is just less than 10 individuals on the whole earth, that is our Vacuita porpoise. It's actually a type of mammal, but it's an aquatic organism. This is the most endangered marine mammal, and we have just less than 10 individuals surviving at present. So we went through lots of endangered species. Now coming to what are the conservation strategies, like how to save this endangered species. Okay. Now, and why do we need to save them? Like you can easily say, yeah, let one set of organisms, one species, let them go. What's important? What's happening to us? It's not important. You cannot say that, because if one species perishes, what will happen? Whatever species that depend on them slowly will perish. That's a problem, because these organisms, they help in pollination, seed dispersal, and they help in other regulation of the population of other organisms. So these ecosystem services will be lost when these organism perishes. So we have to come with some solution. Okay. For example, here I have shown you the dodo bird. Dodo bird, like in 1650s, 1700s, they have declined in Madagascar. This dodo bird, it helps in the seed dispersal of Calvaria tree. The Calvaria tree, when the seed falls, what happens was the seed is eaten by the dodo bird. And these seed in the digestive system, it undergoes some kind of digestion. After that, it will lay down its fecal matters. In these fecal matters, the seed will be there. The remnants of the seed will be there. And from these seed, the plant will grow. Only those seeds which pass through the digestive system of the dodo bird will get dispersed. Okay. Now, what happened when the dodo bird became extinct? There was no more seed dispersal, and totally Calvaria tree got extinct. So, like I said, when a species is lost, whatever organisms or any other plants, depending on that species, will also perish slowly. But there is a new knowledge that Calvaria tree now in Madagascar, it has come back. There is a new study. Okay. Now, what else can the government do? Okay. Our Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, they has developed the National Wildlife Action Plan for the recovery of such threatened wildlife species. We have a Department of Endangered Species Management for the research, monitoring, development of conservation, etc. We have law enforcement authorities with strict vigilance protocol. We have Wildlife Crime Control Bureau, and we have protected areas, sanctuaries, national park, conservation reserves under Wildlife Protection Act 1972. And we have Project Tiger, Project Elephant that we'll be seeing later. There are anti-poaching measures like equipping the forest rangers, law enforcement agency to combat poaching effectively. And we collaborate with the NGOs like Wildlife Trust of India, Wildlife SOS, World Wild Fund for Nature, that is WWF, for the conservation of such wildlife. But whatever the case may be, we need the role of local communities, the indigenous people, the tribal people, and whomever that depend on forest resources for survival. They can help in climate change, adaptation and mitigation, conflict mitigation, food security, ecosystem protection, etc. So we require local communities. Now, there are policy development like Wildlife Protection Act, Project Tiger, Project Elephant, National Biodiversity Action Plan. Now, coming to such action, like you'll be studying in environmental law regarding the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 for the conservation of various wild animals and plant species. Wildlife Protection Amendment Act 2022, which calls for the appointment of a chief wildlife warden, which has increased the present terms and fines for such violation. There are sites also, that is Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wildlife, Wild Fauna and Flora, which is also called Washington Convention, which helps to prevent over exploitation, overfishing. There is sustainable development, etc. Okay, so even though such kind of policy frameworks are there, the participation of local communities are there, still there are certain challenges. Like habitat fragmentation is still going on. Habitat fragmentation is still going on, like due to urbanization, the need for food security, agricultural expansion. So still there is habitat fragmentation. Even then, India has been actively creating wildlife corridors, especially the Karnataka Tamil Nadu Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. It is under protection. So such wildlife corridors are being built on for the conservation of animals. Next challenge that we face is human wildlife conflict. When there are no more food resources in the forest, when there is a food scarcity, water scarcity, and when there is habitat loss, what will happen? The wildlife will come to our own. I cannot say our own because it's their place we are encouraging. So they will just come to these agricultural areas or the human settlement areas for food, water, etc. And then it will result in human wildlife conflict, and this is still happening, and this will lead to the death of the farmers, etc. And for that purpose we are providing compensation schemes, but still the conflict or the interaction is going on. Climate change. Every day we are compacting the climate change, right? Like there is changing weather patterns, increasing temperature, variable rainfall amount. So these all affect the food availability. So this also is one of the challenges. Illegal poaching, wildlife trade. Yes, we are strengthening up our legal teams, etc. But still, there is illegal poaching for tiger skin, rhino horns, elephant tusk, etc. in black market. In Kaziranga National Park, there is a special rhino protection force, and that has created such success that we'll see later. Okay, so. Wildlife conservation success stories. This is what I want to concentrate on. That is why I just went through those challenges and conservation strategies. What we have done, what India has done, and how far we have become successful in conservation of such wildlife. So I'm going to give you some success stories. Project Tiger. Okay. This was initiated in 1973. Okay, and it brought like 71,000 square kilometer under protection, and from 1,411 tiger species, now we have 3,167 tiger species. Now, lion. Like we have seen the cruel life cycle of the lion, and now in our own country, in Gir National Forest, lion, it is under protection. That is its number, which has been declined to 20 in 1913. Now it has increased to 674. 674. That's a huge achievement for India. That is from 20 to 674, because by the participation of the locals, safeguarding that, strengthening the legal teams, and by satellite monitoring, tagging, etc., we have increased our lion community. Okay. That is, there's a dedicated veterinary institute. There are lion ambulances. There is more water sources, GPS-based tracking system. By all this, we have increased the numbers of lion. Now, we have also protected a one-horned rhinoceros, that is especially in Kaziranga National Forest, National Park. There is a special rhino protection force, and which has increased the number of, this is one of the greatest success story in Asia, as per the WWF. And in this, we have won the war against poaching. conservation of elephant. India started the project elephant in 1992. That is, there is under site, there is a MIC program that is monitoring of illegal killing of elephants, monitoring of illegal killing of elephants. And there is also one, we have produced some 101 elephant corridors. That is, these are all like conservation part. Elephant corridors are conserved area. There is no more human encroachment. So the number of elephant has increased to 29,964 as part of Project Elephant. Now, Barasingha is actually a swamp deer, and this deer, it's been hunted. There is habitat loss and rampant diseases also, but due to habitat improvement and captive breeding, its number has been increased to about 1,000 at present. Now, Indian bison, it is also called gaur, and actually this has disappeared from the forest in Madhya Pradesh in 1995. It has totally disappeared. Later, some number has, under central government scheme, it was reintroduced in 2011 from Kanha to Bandagar. Okay. Now, by 2011, some 19 bisons were brought there, and they were fixed with GPS, satellite GPS, etc. Now, where in that area where it has disappeared, now we have a stable population of gaur. Okay. So this is also a success story. I think you should, everyone should know about this particular organism. It is called olive ridley turtle. It has got 3 nesting sites in Odisha, that is Orissa, in Gahirmada, Devi River mouth, and Rushikulya, especially in Gahirmada. That is during there's a particular time, that is a 7-month period. All these olive ridley adult, they'll come to the beach area, and then they start digging the beach area, and then they lay eggs in mass. Okay, but the problem was the people, the local people, they will wait there. They will hunt these. They hunt these olive ridley turtle as well as the eggs. They steal the eggs. But now there is a fishing ban for this all these 7 months, and human activity is also restricted. Now we have reclaimed 7 lakh turtles. Okay, that is also a success story. Now, Amur falcons, it's one of a few beautiful birds that come to Manipur and Nagaland, traveling 20,000 to 30,000 kilometers from Mongolia. Okay, and this is also hunted. Now, penalties and protection there, and satellite. You can see here the satellite tagging project, so that we will know earlier itself when it comes to Manipur and Nagaland, and from those areas, human interference is avoided. Okay, now they have come back to Manipur and Nagaland. Now, Saras crane is also a beautiful bird. It's a wide-known bird. Now it comes to 10 districts in Uttar Pradesh, and this is usually attacked by the dogs. Food poisoning is there. Power supply lines, electrocution is there. But thankfully, by the interference of the local communities, some 19,180 birds, they have come to the East Uttar Pradesh. Gharial, it is found in Bihar, and it is also it has got its own nesting sites. If you take the example of captive breeding, taking this organism into a particular place and subjected it to captive breeding, one of the successful stories in captive breeding is Gharial, that is in Bihar. Okay, so coming to the last part. How can individuals, if you want to protect, if you want to do something as an individual, what can you do? It's not easy, but you can do something. You can reduce your carbon footprint. You can use public transport. You can consume sustainable products. You can advocate for conservation policies, or you can simply grow a small garden in your own house. Whether you have the soil, whether you have a balcony, you can start gardening. You can reduce, reuse, recycle. This, like from your younger days itself, you have been hearing this motto that is reduce, reuse, recycle. But how many are doing this? I can go on because what I am practicing in my household is reduce, reuse, recycle. I did my research in a chemical which is found in the plastic product. Okay, and this chemical, it has been causing sex reversal in our fish population. It is converting the male fish into female fish. Okay, that was my research project also. So from that time also, from that time itself, I have reduced the use of plastics in our own department as well as in my household. And I have even taught my daughters how to go about how to live without plastic. So if you can, it's not easy, but in a year or two you can easily practice. So reduce, reuse, recycle, and you plant native. Invasive, there are invasive species. You avoid that. You go for some small gardening. It's like we have ample time. It's about priority. Okay, and moreover, like such classes organized by the for this wildlife week by the KLA. That is also an awareness program. So you can be in touch with such organisms. So by this, I thank you for your patient hearing, and also I am place my heartfelt gratitude to all the teachers who gave me this opportunity to come back to my own alma mater, and I'm happy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for a truly illuminating words. Your words serve not only as a repository of scholarly knowledge, but as a compelling call to action urgently needed and profoundly impactful. Now, we are moving on to the question and answer session. If the participants have any queries, you may unmute yourself or post it in the chat box.
Any questions?
Ma'am, could you explain what is carbon sequesters?
These there are there are organisms. Carbon sequences. The prominent life is actually plants. Plants are called carbon sequences because they take in the carbon and they can easily convert it into oxygen. So in that way, you can take the example of plants which are called carbon sequesters. So carbon dioxide is, it's one of the greenhouse gases. So it's actually causing global warming. So such carbon sequesters, that if you plant some trees, etc., they absorb the carbon from the environment. So they will reduce that carbon dioxide. So those organisms are called carbon dioxide sequences.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, one doubt. Ma'am, you said that it took to around 110 years for us to, bring up the number of lions from 19 to 620. So it took us 110 years to bring it up by 600 numbers, right? So
Yeah.
if we plan for a captive breeding for lions, wouldn't it have been, a more expediting, number?
No, captive breeding is just one of the small solutions, because in captive breeding, it's a complicated process. Okay, so if you take that organism from its natural environment and taking it into captivity, and then asking them to breed, it is like there are lots of scientific things going on. Okay, so captive breeding is not practical. Okay, now you can increase in captive breeding. You can increase like in 10 numbers in a span of two to like 4-5 years. You can increase it from 10 or 20 numbers to like 30 or 40 numbers. That's it. Okay, because captive breeding, you can easily say, if the number of particular species in a population is declining, you take it. It's very easy. You take it to some lab and you do the captive breeding. It's not easy. Just like you think about the human beings, there are lots of infertility treatment. Even then, the success rate is so low. So captive breeding is very low. The success rate is very low. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. How about legalizing the petting of these wild animals? Wouldn't people be more interested to pet animals than kill them if we legalize certain
Legal,
animals or birds?
legalize what?
Making these animals our pets, or captivating this one, provided there is a legal implication if they are harmed. So if
There are
we bring
lots of legal, because these are wild animals. These are not domesticated animals. So we cannot make laws to make them as pets. They are wild animals. That is why in the case of, if you take in a like last 10 to 15 years, this lion or tiger petting, petting, walking with the, it has caused like 15 human killings. Okay, so you cannot domesticate such wild animals. They are wild. But in most of the zoos, if you go to Mysore Zoo, etc., you can adopt animal. You can adopt animal. You can sponsor for animals. I don't know, maybe for your tour or something, you might have been taken to Mysore Zoo. There it is, there, in each cage, it will be written like it's sponsored by so and so. From that, you can provide certain money or like charity, and you can look after the well-being of such animals. That's a more practical kind of conservation.
Thank you.
Okay.
ഹലോ മാം.
ആ.
മാം, നമ്മളെ കൺസർവേഷന്റെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ നമ്മൾ വ്യക്തമായി പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ. അതിൽ നമ്മുടെ ഈ ഇന്ത്യൻ സിനാരിയോ നോക്കുമ്പോഴേ കൺസർവേഷൻ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് എസ്പെഷ്യലി വെരി വൈൽഡ് ലൈക്ക് ആനിമൽസ് ലൈക്ക് ലയൺ, നമുക്ക് റീഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ പ്രോഗ്രാംസ് ഉണ്ടോ ബാക്ക് ടു ദ വൈൽഡ്? ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ
റീഇൻട്രഡക്ഷൻ പ്രോഗ്രാംസ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അതായത് ഞാൻ വായിച്ചത് വെച്ചിട്ട് ഗിർ ഫോറസ്റ്റില് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞില്ല, അവിടെ 600 നമ്പേഴ്സ് ഒക്കെ കൂടി വന്ന സമയത്ത് ഇവരെന്ത് ചെയ്തു എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ, കുറച്ച് ലൈനിനെ എടുത്തിട്ട് വേറെ സ്ഥലത്തോട്ട് ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ബട്ട് വാട്ട് ഹാപ്പൻഡ് വാസ് ഇറ്റ് വാസ് നോട്ട് സക്സസ്ഫുൾ. ഒരു എൻവിറോൺമെന്റ് വിട്ടിട്ട് വേറൊരു എൻവിറോൺമെന്റിലോട്ട് പോകുമ്പം ഇറ്റ് വാസ് നോട്ട് സക്സസ്ഫുൾ.
Okay, ma'am, got it. Thank you.
But lion അല്ലാത്ത കേസസിൽ, since you said lion അല്ലാത്ത കേസസിൽ there are other successful stories also, reintroduction വഴി.
എക്സാക്ട്ലി മാം. അതിന് റിഗാർഡിംഗ് ആയിട്ട് ഞാൻ ഒരു കാര്യം കൂടെ ചോദിച്ചോട്ടെ. Whatever, like, when the animals other than lion, when we go to things like other species, ഇതിന്റെ ഡോസിലിറ്റി കൂടുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ, വളരെ ഡോസൈൽ ആയിട്ട്. പിന്നെ ലൈക്ക് യു സെഡ്, തിരിച്ചു വൈൽഡിലേക്ക് കൊടുക്കുമ്പോഴും they act much like in a circus. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to interact with themselves, especially the new progenies. Okay, that's all. Thank you so much, ma'am.
If there are no further queries, we will resume the session. As the legendary environmentalist Sir David Attenborough wisely asserted, the truth is the natural world is changing, and we are dependent on that world. It provides our food, water, and air. It is the most precious thing we have, and we need to defend it. As we approach the conclusion of today's webinar, it becomes essential to express our deepest gratitude to the individuals whose support and dedication have ensured the success of this meaningful event. To deliver the vote of thanks, we now warmly invite Advocate Selinji Ma'am to take the stage and formally convey our collective appreciation. Ma'am, the floor is yours.
Good evening to one and all. Respected Dr. Aruna Devi Seema, Professor and Head of the Department of Zoology, University College, Thiruvananthapuram. Respected Advocate Nagaraj Narayanan Sir, Director, the Kerala Law Academy Law College. Respected Professor Anil Kumar K. Sir, Director, Administration Students and Faculty Affairs. Respected Professor Harindran Kisa, Principal, Kerala Law Academy Law College. Respected Professor G. Anil Kumar Sir, Vice Principal, KLA. Respected Professor Ajda Nair L. Mam, HOD, Kerala Law Academy Law College. Dr. Dakshina Saraswati Mam, General Secretary of the KLA Moot Court Society. Respected Advocate Kasturi Mam, Assistant Professor, Kerala Law Academy Law College. N.K. Shishidharan Sir, Assistant Professor, Kerala Law Academy Law College. Esteemed faculty members, student conveners, participants, and my dear students. It is indeed my honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on the occasion of the Wildlife Week 2025 celebrations organized by the Kerala Law Academy Law College in association with the Forestry Club and IQAC KLA. At the outset, I express my deepest gratitude to our Chief Guest, Dr. Aruna Devi Seema, Professor and Head of Department Zoology, University College, for inaugurating this program with an insightful and inspiring address on endangered species, threats, challenges, and conservation strategies. Ma'am, your words have given us fresh perspectives on conservation and have truly set the tone for this week-long celebration. We are profoundly grateful to Advocate Nagaraj Narayanan Sir, Director, Kerala Law Academy Law College, for your vision, constant encouragement, and unfailing support. Sir, you have always been a pillar of strength and guiding light behind every endeavor of this institution, and we are indebted to you for your leadership. Our heartfelt thanks to Professor Anil Kumar K. Sir, Director, Administration, Students and Faculty Affairs, whose dedication and guidance have been instrumental in shaping and supporting programs like this. Sir, your commitment to the welfare of students and faculty has always inspired us. I also extend my sincere appreciation to Professor Harindran K. Sir, Principal, Kerala Law Academy Law College, for your consistent encouragement and guidance in all academic and extracurricular activities. Your leadership has always motivated us to achieve greater heights. We sincerely thank Professor Anil Kumar Ji Sir, Vice Principal, Kerala Law Academy. We extend our thanks for your constant support and mentorship. Your guidance has been instrumental in the success of this event. I would also like to extend our heartfelt thanks to Professor Dr. Ajda Nair L. Mam, Head of the Department, Kerala Law Academy Law College, whose profound wisdom and guidance have been instrumental in bridging the vision of this event fruitful. Thank you, Ma'am, for your contributions. We sincerely thank Dr. Dakshina Saraswati Ma'am, General Secretary of the KLA Moot Court Society and Associate Professor, the Kerala Law Academy Law College, for the constant support, valuable guidance and encouragement. Ma'am's unwavering dedication and mentorship continue to inspire and nurture the growth of our institution. I would also like to express our sincere gratitude to Advocate Kasturi Ma'am, Assistant Professor, Kerala Law Academy Law College, for her clear vision, thoughtful coordination, and unwavering enthusiasm, which have ensured that every aspect of this program beautifully embodies its true spirit. Ma'am, your dedication and presence continue to inspire the entire student community, and we are truly thankful for your valuable support. A very special word of thanks is due to N.K. Shishidharan Sir, Assistant Professor, for his untiring efforts in coordinating the various competitions, guiding the students, and ensuring the smooth conduct of this Wildlife Week programs. Sir, your contribution has been invaluable to the success of this event. I also take this opportunity to thank our dedicated faculty conveners, student conveners, and the organizing team for their meticulous planning, tireless work, and teamwork that have brought this Wildlife Week celebration to fruition. Finally, to all participants and attendees, your active involvement has given meaning to this program. The spirit of Wildlife Week lies not just in talks and competitions, but in carrying forward the message of conservation into our lives. Once again, thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am, for your heartfelt and detailed note of appreciation. It is my honor to express gratitude for your tireless behind-the-scene efforts. With that, we draw this enlightening session to a close. On behalf of the Kerala Law Academy Law College, the Forestry Club, and IQAC KLA, we extend our sincere thanks to all the attendees, speakers, and organizers, participants who made this gathering not only possible, but profoundly impactful. Let us carry forward the insights gained today, transforming them into thoughtful actions that contribute to a more sustainable and just world. This is Danisha 9JP and Namita K. Sedu signing off with gratitude and hope. Thank you, stay safe, and continue to stand for the planet.